Okay, now what we've all been waiting for, how to add a property. If you haven't already watched the first two videos on how to set up your account and then also how to set up a client, you'll want to do that first because you cannot add a property without first having a client. So I'm going to come over here to New under Property. Here's my property detail screen. Now what you'll see here is you can type in, of course, the address, city, state if you know that, but Google will fill it in as long as the address is mapped in Google, which today is pretty much every address. So the property I'm going to enter here is 13161 Logan in Thornton. So 13161 Logan Street. And once you find it, you don't need to type the whole thing out. You can just click on it and it pulls in the information. So there's my address, city, state, my zip. Asset type is whatever asset type it is. Is this a commercial? Is this a note, property management, a rental, REO, retail, short sale, or tax lien? These are all the default asset types. You can add as many or delete these if you'd like. You do that up here in settings, and I'll show that on another video. But every drop down within Maestro is customizable. So there's default fields that we've added already, but if you don't like any of these or there's additional ones you want to see added, you have the option of adding those or deleting any of them. So I'm going to choose REO. Same thing with this drop down. This is all of the different property statuses from eviction, contract, listed, pre-list, pre-foreclosure, pooled, redemption, whatever it might be. But this is a new assignment, so I'll leave it as a new assignment. Referral date, you can post-date it, predate it, whatever you want to do here. It just pulls in the current date. Here again is where our client is. So there's the client we just set up, Fannie Mae, and then it drops in our client contact, Sally Smith. So she's the only one, so it defaulted to that, but you can see there's a drop down. So if you have multiple contacts for that particular client, you'll want to choose which one that is. We're not going to worry about sub client or agent because there is no sub client here, and agent we can set up later. Those are not a default field. It's only the ones that are default that we need to fill out. So now we've got our first property. Let's update it. And what the system does is it goes out and pulls in the picture from Google. And what's really cool here is that you just click on map and it drops you right down into your property. So you can take a look at it, aerial view. You can drop down into the street view. So hopefully everybody these days knows exactly how Google Maps works. But that's built right in. You can see exactly our property right here in front of us. But you can walk up and down the street and so forth. So that opens up in a separate window. But again, to get to that, you just click map. If you don't like this picture, when you hover over it, you can see the edit button. You can update it or add your own photo or whatever. But again, it's pretty cool because it's already in there from Google Street. So here is all of our header information, and this stays, whether we jump across to the different information and so forth. This is our header up here, and you can see to edit that, you just want to come back up in here, and here you can edit any of this information. So if we know our subdivision or our property type, condition, occupancy, so let's just update this. Let's just say it's in good condition and it is vacant, rekeyed by the client. And I'm not going to fill, I do know it's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and I know the square footage is 2175. So we update that. Again, you can see out here now our bed bath count, our square footage is all updated. I'm going to come back into overview, which has got all of our other information. So that's how you update your header information. And then down here is all of your different screens with inside property. I'm not going to, for the sake of this video, go through each one of these in detail, but I'll do that on a subsequent video. But you can see, here is your header information. Summary, this just gives you some summary information. Like we showed you on the client, this is your case memo. So as soon as you come into the property, anything that you always want to see, first thing, you can just store that right in here. There's of course a complete note features that's got all the notes on it. But again, this is a quick reference with regard to your property. Anything that from a scratch pad standpoint that you want to document, you can put that in here. Property information goes into, again, some of this is up in the header, but there's so much more that you can add. So all your subject property information, legal descriptions, everything from your zoning, your lot area. Here's your property information. It goes into a much more detail, and then of course your tax information. So this is all within property. Borrower, so this is where you would put your borrower information. If this is an eviction, you're going to do that under eviction, which is occupants. This is just a borrower information. So real quickly, the genesis of Maestro is the evolution of the REO industry. And so we wanted to create or recreate the web-based version of Maestro to include all phases of the default. So as most of you know, REO is really the end game. It's once the bank gets the property back after foreclosure, but so much of our business has evolved today just due to the economy and the moving up the default continuum, more banks getting aggressive in doing short sales and doing workouts, modification, buying notes, buying properties, investments, and so forth. And so the evolution of Maestro is that REO is one screen, one tab on here, but you can now collect all of the property information, borrower information, HOA, all the mortgage and liens on the property, everything is in here. And so what's really cool about that is this is a much more evolved tool to just managing REO. It really manages the entire default life cycle. So whether you're doing vacant property acquisitions, if you specialize in short sales, if you specialize in REOs or any phase of that default strategy, you can really manage everything within this application. So again, property is all of our property information. Borrower is our borrower information. So again, the plus symbol over here, you just want to click that and you can track all your borrower information. If they don't live at the property anymore, we do a lot with the vacant properties, so I want to know where my borrower currently lives now, all their phone information. If there's multiple borrowers, you just click that. There's your borrower 2, 3, 4. You can have unlimited borrowers on the property. HOA, same thing. Just come over here, click, and you can add your HOA information. So HOA name, the management company, your monthly due, how frequent is the payment, monthly, quarterly, weekly, yearly, your management company, all their information. A lot of times properties will have multiple HOAs, so again, just click that and you've got all of your HOA second information. Same thing with your mortgage and liens. So here's my drop down for my first mortgage. Lender, who the investor is. So your investor might be Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA, their account number, my first and second borrower, lender information. If you request, like we do on a lot of these payoffs, if we're trying to do short sales and so forth, your loan payoff, when it expires, unpaid principal balance, everything, payments behind, amount to bring it current, mortgage type, their interest rate, and loan origination. So again, as much or as little information as you want to collect, it's all available for you. Again, if there's a second mortgage, you click that, it'll add a second one. And then liens. A lot of times properties and foreclosures are carrying multiple liens. So all your lien information, any kind of account, contact information, again, your lien payoffs, all of that is in here. So the different types of liens that we come across is IRS liens, there's judgments, any kind of mechanical, municipal is a big one, and so forth. So you can track all of your liens and all of your mortgages inside here. Again, multiple liens, just click that. You can see all of your liens and all of your mortgages within this screen. Foreclosure, this is something we track on our vacant properties. Here's all the foreclosure status information. So what's our current status? If it's active, if they filed bankruptcy, schedule numbers, NOD recording dates, original auction sale dates, if you want to track the minimum and winning bids, and then when the auction sale date is. If you're a trustee state or an attorney state, all that information is in here. So here's your trustee information, here's all your attorney information, and then this is the foreclosing lien. So a lot of times there's multiple liens on a property and you want to know which one is foreclosing the property out, and so you can track that right here. And then if it goes back to the lender, you can track this as well inside the foreclosure screen, when it went back, who the lender is, and any kind of contact information you have there. So again, it's a lot of information to really track the entire default cycle. Here's our short sale. So again, for our short sale, we may be working with multiple lenders here. If I want to know who my lender servicer is, with regard to my short sale, who my contacts are, all that information is right here. When we ordered the payoff, when it was received, the amounts, and so forth. This is also kind of the workflow and the checklist for short sale. So you can see, what's my current status, when did we start, complete, when was the package submitted to the lender, and then these are some of the things that they do. Order the BPO, order the title, approval, when did I get my short sale approval, closing, if this was a dead file, who my asset manager, negotiator, agent, and closer is. So all the workflow. And over here is your borrower's checklist. So this is a lot of the information the bank's going to require in order for you to do the short sale. So you can check these off as they come in, all the information that you want to get. What's your exit strategy? So is this sold to an investor? Is this sold to an owner-occupant? Current market value, and any kind of lockbox to get inside the property. So there's your short sale screen. REO, again, same. Here's your workflow. A lot of this is triggered from these other screens: the eviction start, complete, list, offer accepted, and so forth. And then here's foreclosure, redemption, my initial occupancy, possession, and so forth. Over here are my different statuses. So again, you know, is it now listed? You know, whatever it may be. My asset type, I can change that here, and my occupancy status, I can change it again. Here's all my access information, lockbox code, if there's any kind of key, if there's a talking sign. And then if this file, for whatever reason, was either put on hold or pulled, you want to put in this information here because you can run all kinds of reports on it. The last one is really cool. This is a custom field, so you don't see anything here, but these can all be updated inside of settings. So I'll show you real quickly that for reference. But here is all of your custom fields. So you get 20 custom fields that you can customize with anything that we haven't captured, or if there's a specific field that you want. So let me just say this first one, say there's, again, I don't even know. If there's a different MLS for this property, I'm just going to put, actually, MetroList is our MLS, but we sometimes, if it's a northern property, use Iris. So I'm just going to put Iris MLS as a customized field, and I update that so you can see customized field, and you can come in and edit this at any time or add as many as you want. But now when I come back into my property, oh, this is also cool. So it'll keep your last 20 properties. So instead of having to type in to find your property, which you can, as soon as you start typing in, it'll find them all, but it'll list all of your recent properties right here. So I just want to click on that, go back in. So if I come over here to custom now, you can see there is the customized field for, you know, that MLS number or whatever you might want it to be. So again, this is completely customizable up in settings, but there you go. That's how you add a property. And we'll go into the different screens, the valuation, eviction, listings, MMRs, offers, and so forth, all the notes on a different video. But to keep these short and digestible, we'll leave it at that. But that's how you add a property. Header information is how you update and change any of that information. And then your summary, property, borrowers, HOA, foreclosure, short sale, REO, and then your custom fields. All right, that's how you add a property, and that's the basic overview. Thank you for watching.